A little over a year ago, I rescued 4 computers from being recycled, one of which is now my mini server at home. I found new homes for 2 of them, leaving only this HP ProBook that I thought was dead beyond repair. Then one day when it finally started after a year of holding on to it, I also decided to restore it. This machine wasn't my choice. I'm not even a fan of HP computers. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. The battery was long dead, and as I had almost no experience with HP notebooks and the universal charger I had been trying could not start it up, I did not spend further time troubleshooting the internals. When I recently tried the correct one out of the 3 HP tips that came with this universal laptop charger and it booted into Windows, I decided to play around with this machine. This notebook has a 15.6-inch HD screen, and this unit was equipped with 4 GB of RAM and a 320 GB mechanical hard drive. It runs on a 2nd generation Intel Core i3 processor. It has all the standard ports at least for its time, a DVD drive, and these 2 extra buttons above the keyboard that also act as status indicators for the 2 respective network functions. The machine was in the same state as a regular decommissioned office computer with minor scratches and paint wear-offs all over the body. However, everything that I tried, including the keys on the keyboard, the ports, the disk drive, worked perfectly fine. I'm glad I could stop that woman from throwing this one out. This machine is big, probably just like the other 15-inch notebooks, has a new pad with all that space on the palm rest, and comes with several unique elements that I did not see in a notebook before. I learned that the internals could be accessed just the way you change the battery, with no screws to undo at all, and this blew my mind. I would even go on to say that it's less effortful than any ThinkPad I've tried, and I still can't believe it, no screws. The internal layout felt unfamiliar, but the components were easy to locate. 4 screws to replace the storage device, 2 to remove the keyboard, and just 1 to remove the optical drive. The 2 network cards sit right there, leaving the RAM modules, CPU, and the heatsink assembly behind some protection that looks like a cage. Oh, did I just spot a replaceable CPU? This is another notebook that I found the easiest to perform a CPU thermal repaste on, so that went pretty smooth without touching anything else around the heatsink assembly. I replaced the mechanical drive with a 256 GB SSD and added 2 GB RAM to make it 6 GB in total. As the internal module was Hynix and the only Hynix SODIMM I had lying around was a 2 GB module, I used that instead of doubling the RAM with the help of another 4 GB module that I would have had to buy. Besides, such an old machine with Core i3 processor won't go that far either. So I thought 6 GB of RAM would be more than enough to go with the rest of the dated and relatively weaker internals. I left the remaining elements like the wireless module as they were. I ordered a charger, and after days of waiting for it to arrive, I received the wrong one. This is one of the things I've never come to understand about HP notebooks. Not only are their model numbers cryptic and too long, but they also have several similar looking charging pins that I'm sure cause a lot of confusion even within HP owners. Even on this universal charger, the fact that there are 3 variants of HP charging pins proves how confusing it can be to get a charger for an HP notebook. For the ThinkPads though, I've only come across 4, one of which is the USB-C, one is the flat pin design, and the 2 barrel connectors which have been the longest running design before the other 2 and are pretty replaceable at least across most machines. I found license keys for both Windows and Office behind the service panel, so I restored it with a fresh install of Windows 10, and I won't have to force the next owner to use Linux. So apparently ThinkPads are not the most maintainable computers, at least were not so during the last decades. But what we've seen across manufacturers is that these things are getting closer and closer to your standard smartphone, which has been intentionally designed to be obsolete and replaced soon as the newer ones are out. That's all I have for this video, and thanks for watching it to the end. May the maker watch over you. See you in the next video.